Get it right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday night. It is a dream of streams. And this is our Winds of Winter prediction stream, I guess, live show. I don't know. I'm screwing up the beginning anyways, Jane. What's going on?
Nothing much. How's it going for you?
I think it's going all right. You were telling me it's hot where you're at?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like, I think the heat index was around 100 today. So I'm dying slowly.
I can't deal with that. Ours, I know our actual temperature got around 90, but the humidity was like 90. So I'm guessing that's like a 100 also. I am not made for this weather.
Me either.
I hate it. I hate it. So I'd like to know, chat, winter or summer? S or W? Which one would you rather have? Because
this is why I couldn't live in the Game of Thrones universe. Because I could do with extended winter, but I could not do extended summer.
Yeah, but
I would die.
The extended summer in the north is not compared to like south, where like in King's Landing, it's like disgustingly hot. Dorne is desert. I think in the north, it's like a mild. I don't know how hot it gets, but I couldn't imagine it being too hot. And then maybe I don't know either.
The way they describe it.
Well, how do they describe it? Because I know like summer is summer.
Right.
But above the wall, it still snows in summer.
That is true.
Right. So I'm guessing like if you lived where the Umbers lived, you know?
So far north.
Right. And maybe have like a summer cat or a winter castle that goes a little more south.
Yeah.
So you don't die, you know?
Like, they would have to give me like the Wolf's Den, turn that into a castle again.
That would be dope.
It would.
Why did they ever turn that into a jail?
I can't remember. It was a bad decision, though.
Right? The Wolf's Den is like a highly fortified, like ancient castle.
Right.
And I actually forget who built that. Was that a Stark built thing or was that a pre-Stark thing?
I think that was a Stark thing. Because they were Starks. Another one of those sort of branches.
Right. Like a proto Stark. Oh no, that would be the proto Starks are kind of before the Starks, but they are Starks. Early you're right. It was a Stark offshoot. And then the Manderleys came up and they gave it to him, which is pretty cool. Yeah. But we're not talking about that tonight. So make sure to like, share, retweet, subscribe, do all that good stuff so other people can get into here because sometimes they don't like to give out my notifications. YouTube. Let's see who is in the chat. I know our first friend tonight was our good friend Tina. And she said, happy Monday, friends. Happy Monday, Tina. I hope everything is going well. And my kind of friend, Makini90, still a little hurt that he wasn't excited to be on my show, but excited to be with Ryan and DJ Scandalous. If you didn't check out that, please check out my live stream from Saturday night where Makini90 rocked it. Jane rocked it. And I guess I was just there, right, Makini?
You were a guest.
I was a guest on my own show. Back to Tina. Hail. We always say hail, and it's not a dirty word here. Darren, like my father before me, evening all. Our good buddy now, the Time Prophet, started his own channel.
Great channel.
Dig his voice, man. I like you guys who don't put your faces on screen. I really like how you guys all sound. I wish I had one of those voices. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to not mock, but I'm going to like emulate you guys and do one of my videos like that and just see how it works out. I mean, everyone knows what I look like already, but I would like to see how it comes out. I think that it must take forever, right?
It does.
I mean, you're just like cutting and pasting like different pictures and stuff. Like that's a time consuming thing.
I just learned how to do transitions. So my video should actually be better now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is.
I love that. That is so cool. Oh, the Time Prophet said it's raining here today. In fact, it rains all day and it doesn't really rain every day in Britain. Really? We always hear it rains. Like I've always thought like the whole umbrella, top hat, trench coat look was that what every guy wore over there. Yeah. But again, every American's like a yeehaw, kicking shit. Let's blow up a truck, so
guns,
stereotypes, right? Guns. Bah, 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 bah. Even though I love guns. I really love guns. How do you say your name? Is that Rosea? Rauza? That's a beautiful name. I thought it was Rosea. No, that's too many letters. But that's thank you for coming. I've seen you in one of my other comment sections, and I really appreciate. I think she said something really lovely. If it is you, just make sure you put a winky eye or something. But she said something to the effect that our videos get her through this lockdown quarantine thing. Aww. And that meant the world to me. We do all different, like, we have our Winds of Winter streams, but then we do our more woke Hollywood stuff on Saturdays. And I always wonder how people transition between the two different things we do, because like every human, we're not just one thing. Right. We have our views on everything. It doesn't mean we all can't disagree on some things, but agree on other things, watch some stuff, but not other things. So I always wonder how people found us, or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I need summer. I'm from the farmlands of the South, aka US Stormland.
Would that be the Stormlands? Was it Florida, maybe?
Well, I mean, they get hit by hurricanes.
Yeah.
Or like Gulf region, somewhere in the Gulf region. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm in the Gulf. I'm in Louisiana, and that's a good question. What would we be?
Oh, if this was Westeros?
Yeah.
So I would be somewhere like either the Erie. I probably would be considered the Erie without the mountains, because I'm like far east and I'm up north. If you consider like the border of Canada to be the wall.
Right.
Maybe I am in the north. Maybe I'm like more like a Manderley land. I don't know. Where is Connecticut on that? Like, someone tell me that. Because you got Long Island, what could be like the sisters,
That's perfect, actually. Yeah.
Right. So, but you're not Dorne. I would think you're more the Stormlands.
I guess.
And like Mexico would be Dorne.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
That works out. That works out. You could almost craft you could almost take Westeros in America, or actually North America, and factor it into what the map looks like. A lot of people thought he took Britain and Europe, but I'm starting to think he took the North America. Look at above the wall. That looks kind of Canada-ish. And you come down. Yeah, he's going to do a couple things that change it up a bit. But you have, and we're going to have to look at that. Do I have a map somewhere? I don't know. I'm going off topic. Sorry. We're just waiting to see if other people come in, but I think it's just the 6 of us, everybody. All right. So tonight, Jayne and I are going to go off book a little bit. We're not going to be, maybe predicting a little bit, but in recent weeks, we have been talking about differences between the book and the show. So if you haven't seen the book, screw you, parrot head. If you haven't seen the book, seen the show or read the book, it might get a little confusing, but stay along with us. I'm going to let Jayne go first. So it could be either good or bad, or just something that bothered you or something you actually liked. I have a big list. So I'd rather go with your stuff first and then cross out what maybe I already doubled up on.
Okay. So the first thing I would say that I really liked in the show, or at least how they did it, was Hardhome, because we don't get detail about what happened. And in the show, they fleshed it out and made it amazing, actually. I liked the battle between Jon and the White Walker.
Oh, that was awesome.
That scene where we've, up until that point, all we know is that these things are destroying swords. Like, you can't fight them. They're impenetrable. They're powerful.
Right.
They're magic of some kind that no one has seen before. And so Jon goes up against him and he thinks he's going to die. And so do we at this point. There's no hope. But when the blade clanks against the White Walker's blade, I was like, oh my God. I pretty much jumped up and screamed at that point.
Can I tell you, I rewatched that today? I was like, yes. And I was like, oh my Lord, that was dope. Because he literally, like, that is one of those battles where he got the living crap kicked out of him. And I love battles that are more like not him like coming in and being the super champ. Like, he got overpowered and he lucked out with one move because he surprised his enemy.
Right.
His enemy was taken off guard. He surprised him and took that moment he had to kill him. I also love right after that fact where they're in the boats and the Night King character, who I don't care for, I don't like that, but we'll get to that a little later.
Yeah.
But that part
Man.
in Hardhome, when he just raises his hand slowly and everybody's eyes open up and they all stand up, and it's like, you just gave me a bigger army. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's, you know,
it's like, oh my God.
So powerful.
And that's one of those scenes where you actually sort of put yourself in the shoes of Jon.
Yep.
And you're like, oh shit, what would I do in this situation?
I would have been dead.
Pretty much.
Come on. That, like, unbelievable how he lived.
How do you prepare for that? At that
point,
you know it's over.
I mean, those are like World War Z zombies. You know what I mean? Like, the whites are coming at you. They're going through, they're climbing up. Like, and the whole time the White Walkers are just lining that cliffside watching. Like, it's almost like, like in Jurassic Park where the raptors are testing the different parts of the fence.
Yeah.
That's almost like what they did at Hardhome. The White Walkers were testing the men's defenses and this and that.
Right.
And you're right. It's only like barely spoken of in the book. Like, you hear it, you don't see the battle. You just hear about it. And Jon's not even there, is he?
I don't think so.
No, because he's Lord Commander by then, I think, or right about then. So I don't think he goes to Hardhome. That's why we hear it secondhand.
Right.
That was one of the first things on my good list. Like, really? Totally. I loved Hardhome. I thought that was one of, if not the best episode of the series.
Yeah, that would be one of my top favorite stories of the series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so well done, well shot. The choreography was amazing. I loved everything about it. And even before that scene on the boat, even before the main attack, when you just sort of see the ice and like it's not smoke, but the
steam,
I guess, coming off of them down the mountain. It's like, this is insane.
Well, it is cool how like winter really comes with them.
Literally
comes with them, and I think that's so cool. Adam Price, that is so cool that he came upon our channels during a live stream while searching for something about Winds of Winter.
Cool.
That is so cool. Actually, the algorithm helped me for once, because Adam, you have been kick ass in our chat, so I appreciate that, man. I love, Hardhome, and when they're like coming through the gate and like they're just like, oh, dude, it was one of the first times you actually felt like, other than the time they fight Mormont and Jon, that was the first time we really see them in full force.
Right.
You know, we see them marching with, I think that's before that, where with Sam cowering behind the rock, and somehow they didn't behind a rock.
Yeah.
But
above.
But that was the first time we saw their power. And then when he raised them, I also hated that after that, the next season they changed, because the actors changed of who was the Night King.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the original way the Night King looked. I couldn't stand how he looked in the next seasons. It threw me off completely. So what else you got? That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That was my favorite. Let's see. The other thing, as we defeat an enemy by killing the lead. So do I.
You know what? We don't know if that's going to be that in the books, though. There is no leader of the others, and we have not seen another killed yet where the rest of the whites die, have we? I mean, Sam slayed another to help save Gilly at one point, but I don't remember them talking about the whites around him also dying. It was just one White Walker, right? One other.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
So we don't know if that's a plan, right? If that'll happen in the books.
Weren't they present when Arya, I don't know. I guess what they're going with is that when she killed him, everyone else died.
Yeah.
But I doubt very seriously that's how it's going to play out.
Right. Because there's that part in the North when they went to, for some reason, kidnap a white because they needed Cersei's help. Dumbest part of any. Oh my God. Anyways, they kill a White Walker and the whites around them died. So that was the first time we saw it.
Right.
That's why they thought if they kill the Night King, they would all die. But
it's the dumbest plan.
Oh, so dumb. But I don't think that'll happen in the books. I really don't, because if anything, George loves tromping on tropes like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We got a lot of English people here.
Well, yeah.
That's awesome. Good day, mate. Oh no, that's Australian. I am such
Oh my God.
I am so sorry. That was so dumb. Oh, all I saw was a crocodile hunter, and I wanted to scream like that. I'm sorry. I meant no disrespect, England. I love you. If I ever, maybe we need to do a con of sporks in London one time. We'll fly over to London and we'll do a con of sporks. If we could get me over, let's say 10,000. Let's get me over 10,000 subscribers, and I'll do a con of sporks in London.
That would be cool.
It may never happen, people.
It'll happen.
So I'm sorry. What is your next one?
Okay, so the next one, and I just put one name instead of like notes about it because
hold on. Okay, I'm ready to cross it out.
Euron.
There we go. Crozon.
Oh God, they just did him all wrong. Everything about him, his personality, his look,
right,
how he became king.
Yep. Which was huge. That was actually huge because they knocked out. So you don't bring Victarion in,
right? They tried to
kind of marry the two, which cannot work. If anybody knows the book, Euron and Victarion are complete opposites. You know, like Victarion is he's a brutal warrior, but he's an honorable he's an honorable man for their culture.
Yeah.
Euron is a demon. You know, he's just a horrible, horrible person.
He's like a sociopath or psychopath, but also on drugs. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's like you can't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they dropped the ball with his character. He was so interesting, and people were looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah,
but it's like, oh, this is just a playboy,
right?
Spoiled rich kid type thing. Yeah,
and they introduced him really well. Like, so.
Oh yeah, on the bridge.
Yeah, on the bridge because
what is that? I am the storm.
Yes.
Well, that's freaking amazing.
Right.
But then it went downhill from there.
It truly, truly did. Like he was like, I am the storm. And then he takes his brother out, which in the books is different. He doesn't actually do it he doesn't do it. We believe that he paid a faceless man to do it.
Right.
But he's so just sinister in the books, and he's a laughable. The actor was good. He played that character the way he was supposed to. But like the whole, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you don't really buy him as the Euron in the books. You don't buy him as, a child molester type. I mean, he's just very arrogant. He reminds me of Jaime, essentially.
Right.
But that's not who Euron is.
No, not even close. Euron, okay, so that whole thing at the very end, he's like, I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister. Like talking directly, like breaking the fourth wall. And it's just like, dude, that is not Euron. Euron, like Jaime Lannister isn't even on his radar in the books. He is trying to become either a god or raise a god.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy is vicious. He's calculating. How he doesn't keep any treasures for himself. He always gives it to all his men, so they think they like adore him, but yet he cuts out all the tongues of people that are actually on his ship, and they're all okay with it. Like, I don't know. He may be a green seer.
Right. He's definitely seeing something.
He's definitely seeing something. I mean, he's taken a lot of the nightshade, or not nightshade, shade of the evening, but there's something more going on there. Like we talked about in a earlier stream, where he may have been one of Bloodraven's first tries at getting a 3-eyed crow. to replace him, and just realized he is a psychopath. You know, I mean, he killed his first person was his brother at a young age, and after he killed him, walked out into the ocean and pissed in it, which is their god.
Right.
And when he realized God wasn't going to come and get him, he just went
off the hinges ever since.
Yeah. I like this one. Here's my Winds of Winter prediction. After the Battle of Ice, the White Walkers will march south and will end up fighting Stannis and his northern forces. Jon will return as an agent of the others.
Ooh.
I do like that. A lot of people think that. I don't think he'll come back as an agent of the others. I think he'll become back as either, well, it's kind of hard to say. My kid just came running through the door. Hold on. So
okay. I don't know, but I feel like Jon is probably in Ghost right now. I think he walked into Ghost. And if that's the case, then maybe the resurrection is something apart from Jon.
Right.
And that could, I mean, it could be an agent of the others. It could be one of them working into his empty vessel of a body.
Or it could be like R'hllor, an agent of R'hllor, not the great other. You know what I mean? Like if it's Melisandre trying to resurrect him, let's say he's stuck in Ghost, then it's going to be an agent of R'hllor. But it may also be a connected thing where the old gods and R'hllor have something to do with his resurrection, because he is part of Ghost right now, which everything in the book Ghost symbolizes the weirwood tree and the old gods. I mean, he is the old gods. So, other kid. Okay. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree to some extent. I mean, yes, we see the symbolism of the magic of the North being associated with the old gods, and by extension, potentially the great other in some way. But I wonder if Melisandre does attempt to resurrect him, whether her power won't work. See, we're assuming based on the show that she's going to be able to use her magic in an aggressive, active manner in a territory that is historically been controlled by a different form of magic.
Oh, yeah.
And what if she's not able to do it? What if she's rendered powerless?
Do you think in a way they're allowing her to use, like, make her think her magic is stronger right now?
Exactly.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Because
that's pretty cool.
We know she's having issues with her interpretation of what she's seeing. What if it's because it's being interfered with?
Right. And she keeps talking about how she believes the wall is a hinge of the earth, meaning a magical, like, ley land or ley line. And maybe that's them allowing her to have that power. And then when it really matters, they're going to just be like, sorry, you're in the North.
Nothing. Exactly.
Like, you really think we're going to let a fire god walk up on here? You're crazy. That would be an awesome subversion of what we think might happen.
And a good one, yeah.
Oh my God, that would be really cool. I've never heard that before, Jayne.
Threw that out there.
All right, everybody, mark that one down. Jayne Theory. That's a really dope theory. I kind of like that a lot. Like, because she in her POV makes sure you know that this place is powerful and her magic is powerful.
So convinced.
And what is, yeah. Oh my God. She's so being played. I love it. I love it. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but that was awesome. What were we talking about? The Crow's Eye. Yeah, they make him a fool. He's a fool in the show. He's very smooth in the books. Excuse me. He's very, like, he's able to, like, what do they say? Like his bright eye and his, like, evil eye is covered. Like the black obsidian eye is his true eye, but he has his smiling, laughing eye to the world, and they all believe it. You know, I kind of find that to be really cool. $7.99. Yeah, Jayne told me that myself. I don't know. Maybe I'm at 800. You never know. Whoop whoop. Thank you, brother. Everybody check out 14 Barbers channel. If there is somebody in the chat that's a mod, please throw his link out there. He does a great live stream about like supernatural and aliens and stuff with that, with Adega Outlaw. I love that. I watch it all the time. I don't always chat, but I do listen to it a lot. So definitely check those guys out. But all right, so we're off of him because he's no fun. I'm kind of thinking now about the Jon resurrection, because I do have in here something I hated was the Jon death in the show compared to the Jon death in the books.
Yeah, I agree. I have a problem with their having his last word be the name of that kid.
Ole. Oh, God, breaks my heart.
That's not what happened.
Yeah. No, it breaks my heart that they did that. Well, because, it's really hard to make a CGI wolf because we have to do every hair individualized. I hate those people. Ugh. Hate them so much. So if you don't remember in the show, Jon reads that pink letter, decides I'm off to go, down south. I'm going to march, same as he did in the book. And he gets stabbed by people that weren't even there in the book. Who's the guy he can't stand? The one that takes over.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. The one that trains him.
I can't remember.
I can't either right now. He's not even there, but they all stab him for the watch, angrily for the watch. For the watch. But in the books, men are crying doing it. They literally believe Jon is forsaking his vows and that the only thing is death if that's what you do. So there's people literally crying, stabbing him. And when Jon doesn't even realize it until the third blow that he's being stabbed. And when he finally starts to lose consciousness, the last word is what, Jane?
Ghost.
Not Ole. It just means so much more. Ghost.
God, that should have been the scene.
Yeah, why change that?
I don't understand.
Is that arrogance?
Probably so, because there's no story logic. I mean, you established a relationship between him and his wolf.
Right. And we know that it's a betrayal of Ollie. We get that. A show only character, don't forget.
Right.
Who just annoyed the shit out of me, and I loved when he died. But Ghost and
speaking of when he died, then you have him kill him later. Why then would he say his name now? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. Jesus.
No, it doesn't. And it matches up so perfectly with the death of his brother, Rob, who says what last thing he says is Grey Wind.
Right.
But in the show, I think he says mother.
Yeah. Why? I think part of it, someone suggested, because this has come up before, someone suggested that they wanted to downplay the relationship between the other kids and their wolves.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
Which makes zero sense.
Zero sense.
You don't have to do that to boost brand. I mean, just show that the entire family is awesome.
Right.
That this is it's not just a sigil. It actually has meaning and significance and history behind it. Their bond to their wolves is real.
Right. And just having Bran be, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think if anything, you should have had Jon the ability to warg and not realize he's warging, dream warging, how a lot of them start out and don't because right now, none of, except for Bran and maybe Arya, the others didn't know that they have warging ability.
I kind of think Rickon does.
Rickon. Yeah, he does. But he's 3 years old, so
he's wild. He's becoming a wolf.
Boy. Yeah, he is. I think you definitely downplayed the supernatural Starks.
Right.
You have a supernatural Targaryen, and then that's the fire, and the ice is the supernatural Starks.
Right.
Able to, and the direwolves weren't even as big as they should have been.
Right.
Now, right. Nymeria in the show is standing up on a little bit of a hill and over Arya. She should actually be standing on the ground, level ground, and be that big to Arya.
Exactly. Yeah.
They stand 5 to 6 feet tall on all fours.
Yeah.
That's a big animal.
It is.
They really screwed those dogs over.
They screwed the fans over.
They screwed everybody over. Let's just be honest. I mean,
it sucked.
It did. And I've rewatched, season 1 and season 2, and I really do enjoy season 3. Season 4 was good. After that, I always say season 6 was all right, but they just went so off book. And that's why I have such a long list of things I just dislike between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jon is definitely, I should probably mark that one out too. The resurrection of Jon screwed up a lot of things, I feel like. They
and then they had people believing that the blood was in the shape of the wolf.
Right.
Like, to this day, I don't know if it really was or it wasn't.
I don't
but
think
if it was, that would have been stupid.
Right. I don't even think it was meant to be. Some people thought it was in the shape of a dragon too. I just think it was blood that came out, and I like Smooth Jam California. I didn't know you had videos, brother. I actually have an additional theory on Jon's resurrection. That is so cool. So Smooth Jam California. I love that name. I'll have to check out. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you, but I will be after tonight. Let's see. Did you know that when Sean Bean was asked to play the part, he had such a good northern accent? Yes, I did. Everybody in the cast had to learn how to speak his. Yeah. Yep. So they loved his accent so much, they made the North sound like Sean Bean.
That's cool.
That is so dope.
And I did love that about the show, that each of the different regions had their own distinct sort of, if not language, dialect.
Yes.
And culture. I love that. That was really cool.
Yeah. I think whoever worked on that, like the creating the languages of Valerian and things like that, they did an excellent job with that. Because when I think Dorne, I think of that kind of Mediterranean sounding voice,
right?
Like accent. When I think North, I think Northern England, I really did dig that too. I thought that was cool. Let's see. Motivations were changed too much, led to many of the conclusions being off. Yeah, absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't think about like how that would fragment out when they did it early on. And I think that's what really screwed up the show. They changed little things at the beginning and didn't like the whole Sansa storyline.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's another thing in my list. Like, first of all, oh God, here we go. Sansa.
Yeah.
Sansa's brutalized by Joffrey. She is saved, she thinks, from this fool, and it turns out to be Littlefinger. Littlefinger brings her as his daughter to the Eyrie, and she is there still to this day, growing into her own woman, learning to not show her cards, learning how not to trust people. And she's becoming a player of the game. Not very well yet, but she is starting to become a player of the game. In the show, almost the same thing. Dyes her hair black, starts dressing like more like just like she's like
Dark Sansa.
Yeah, Dark Sansa. And what does he do? Littlefinger trades off his key to the North and the Eyrie and the Riverlands. He trades her off for no reason to the Boltons. And then everyone knows that that's the real Sansa, but yet the Northerners are going to allow her to be raped and tortured by her Lord husband, Ramsay Snow, Bolton. Now, you screwed up that storyline really, really bad. And then you screw up the Jayne Poole storyline, because the reason why Jayne Poole is important is because a lot of the Northern Knights or lords that are in Winterfell for that wedding most likely don't believe that's the actual Arya. Right. And they're just going along with it because they don't have the power to overthrow the Boltons.
Right.
Because what the Boltons did during the wars were kill all, like send everybody else's forces in first and keep theirs back. So the Jayne Poole storyline is so important because if they did believe that was Arya, they wouldn't stand for this Snow to rape and beat her and treat her like crap.
Exactly.
And
but
people
see, that opens the door to the whole Northern conspiracy concept, which we also don't see.
Right. No, it's thrown away.
It's the exact opposite.
I mean,
it's like a Northern conspiracy against the Starks, which just makes no sense.
Right. It's so stupid. Glovers.
Books.
Right. Glovers, Umbers, Manderley, they all side with the Boltons. Like, no. Joyfully. Like, maybe not Manderley because we really don't see him, but the young Umber and the young Glover, they're all for it. You know, and then when Ramsay kills off his Lord Father, no one bats an eyelash.
Nothing.
And Lord, you know, the mother and his brother to the dogs, no one thinks of any, like, let's follow this lunatic just because.
Yeah.
Because reasons.
It's like that would never happen.
No, just like the Sand Snakes taking over Dorne.
Oh, that's the next one on my list.
We'll get to that after. Yes, we will get to Dorne. We need this venting, people. We all need it. No, we all need it. I think Smooth Jam says it best. Dan and Dave got lazy.
Yeah, and ignorant.
Thank you. Ignorant and arrogant, I would add to that.
All three.
All three wrapped in a little shit bow. So you screw up the Jayne. Now, Jayne Poole is treated so much worse in the books than Sansa was. And I always found that funny. There was such an outcry for Sansa when it was one scene, you see what happens to her, which is horrible. But Jayne Poole, like, he literally has the dogs rape her.
Right.
He has Reek involved in it. Like, it is disgusting. It's twisted terrible. Shit that George R.R. Martin does to that poor girl. But he's trying to show you how evil of a creature Ramsay Bolton is. Again, they screw it up because it takes away from the idea that the Northern conspiracy is alive and well, and they would also, if they knew it was a true Stark girl, they wouldn't have reacted already. I'm sorry, I can't follow that one. I think they took what we knew as, like, they didn't give a crap what the book fans thought,
right?
You know, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they read, the Reddits and stuff and just said, we'll just do the exact opposite.
Yeah. And then at the very end, they started being like, well, maybe we'll do some of the stuff they like. And then the rest, now we're going to, troll them just a little bit, and then, because really everything they did, they rushed and they just did the opposite of what many of us expect will happen in the books.
And I mean, they did the opposite of what happened even in their own show. I mean, they changed, we'll get to Dorne, but you changed even the culture.
Oh my God.
It was just, okay.
No, go into that. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so
expand on that.
Oberyn made this big thing about how they don't hurt little girls in Dorne. That's an important part of who the Dornish are.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn right around
and kill a little girl. I mean, and the person that killed the little girl,
his paramour,
the love of her life was Oberyn, knowing that he would
she would have
disgusted.
Exactly. I can't. And she can't get past that.
Well, she's also the same character in the book that is against any war. She doesn't want anyone to get into war.
She separated her.
Oh my God, they did. She separated all her natural born daughters to different castles to try to keep them safe. Now, it could also be a trick. It could be to set them up in different castles to overthrow them. I don't know. I always kind of thought maybe she had a plan, but for right now, we don't see her as a violent person.
Not to this extent. Now, I don't doubt, the Dornish are badass for real. So I wouldn't put it past her to have the capacity to, execute that kind of a covert plan. That's actually consistent with what they do, but how she goes about it in the show is so very different and senseless. It's just like who I guess Dan and Dave. I was going to say, well, who sat down at the writing table and came up with this crap? But there should have been someone else in the room to be like,
there were yes men.
Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Did you see the before you go ahead, did you see the episode after the final where they did like the behind the scenes, and when like Dan and Dave, like they were only in it a few times coming onto the set, and like people literally like were like, it was like royalty came onto the set, like, do not make eye contact with them.
No, I didn't see
like,
that.
Oh, please watch it.
Oh my God.
It's actually really cool. They follow like one of the extras that's been an extra for season after season after season. They follow a costume person. They show like the last table reads. It actually is really cool, but just watch when Dan and Dave come on set, like everyone like gets scared. Like, I don't know. And I like to say, Smooth Jam, I appreciate that. Maybe we got your juices flowing again, partially because of these videos. He's going to be making Game of Thrones videos again. Cool. I appreciate that, man.
Cool.
And definitely, if you have a Twitter account, send me link me when you send out your video so I can retweet it. The Sansa storyline was retarded.
Yeah.
But looking back, it started back in season 4. Totally agree. When she revealed herself to the Vale Lords. I don't get why they started down that storyline, then didn't commit. Thank you.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, God.
Okay. So you're telling me she admits who she is. The Vale Lords decide to protect her, but then will let Littlefinger, who they all freaking hate, sell her off pretty much to the Boltons. That's another group of
Vale.
The Vale.
The greatest military.
The biggest military right now in Westeros.
Yeah.
And a military that was related. The Lord right now is related. That's her cousin.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Why would you? It again.
Right.
Makes zero sense. It would never happen.
Right. Never.
Oh.
Okay. He's got a hot take for y'all. I don't think Dan and Dave even read through the 5th book all the way, though. It didn't come after they started the show, after all. It did. You're right. It did come out after season 1. They may never have, because none of it is in there, is it?
I don't think so. Because at some point, they just started going completely off
book.
Yeah.
When they didn't even have to yet.
Right.
They didn't even have to. They diverted from storylines and left out storylines, which we'll get to. For no reason. And I understand it's a show and you have to tighten it up and maybe marry two, like Euron, marry two characters. But if you're going to do it, make that character appropriate to who Euron and Victorian are.
Right. Like, but see, they don't understand the character in the context of the story. And so it doesn't make sense when they play it out on screen with this storyline that they just made up out of thin air.
Right.
Because they don't understand where it's going. That's the problem. No,
absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. If you don't know where the story, like if you don't understand the context, how are you going to write the story, even if the book is right in front of your freaking face?
You can't.
You can't. No, you can't. Nope. All right. I'm clocking out now for work. Should be there in about 10 or 15 minutes. That was at 7:49 p.m. And that was Christy. Your 10 minutes is up. You got 5. I would like to see Christy back. We've missed her. Yeah. Thomas Gilkey. What a beauty. Why do you always go to Sport Cage, Thomas? It's all love. I love it right here.
Hey, Thomas.
Thump, thump. Thump, thump. I love you. Okay, that was awkward. And we go back to the whole Sansa thing. Them doing that messed up the Northern Conspiracy, the Jane Pool. Another thing that screwed up, and we could jump. We'll go
Sansa's growth.
Yeah, Sansa's growth gets twisted, and it's like they wanted an even darker Sansa. Like I felt like after Joffrey, like that was enough brutality for her. Like it's now her time to grow as a player of the game.
Yeah.
Like they did that for shock value.
But they were like, no, let's just throw it back in the fire.
Right. And I think they did it for 2 reasons. Shock value and to get everybody to the north they wanted in the north. Instead of just having her march a massive army north, like at the right time to attack Winterfell. You know, but what they have her do is wait for her brother's army to be decimated as she sits on a mountaintop staring at him with a smile like, you're about to die. Should I let him die? Like, that's what I got from that. Like, she actually almost let him die and then was like, okay, let's go save him now.
Yeah, like how is okay? So now apparently she still hates him.
Mm-hmm. After that reunion they had where he saved her life pretty much.
Ugh.
And allowed her soup in a warm blanket. And then he, you know, like and
they played it like she was just so hostile to him.
Right.
Are you serious? After everything they've been through, that is not how that conversation would have gone.
I swear in the book, she even talks about how she like feels bad how she treated Jon.
She did.
Yeah, right. She looks back like I should have treated him better.
But
you know,
in the show, she's back to bitch Sansa.
Right. Like she doesn't feel like he listens to her. So you know what? I'm going to teach him a lesson and let all his men die. And then I'll save the day. Because I'm Sansa.
Ugh.
And then her watching Ramsay get eaten by his dogs. Like, she went dark, man. She went real dark. But I guess when they make you get raped and married to a guy you don't love, well, the only way to get rid of him is, have him eaten by his dogs. So technically, that's a widow now. So I guess I could see why she did it.
Oh.
It's so wrong.
So wrong. Diminished her character for no reason.
Yep. I'm telling you. I love these books. These books have meant I am not like, let me put it out there. You might realize, like, when I try to pronounce people's names or words, I'm very bad at it. I have a very, it used to be debilitating dyslexia. And after, 12 years of working at it, it's gotten a lot better. But these books changed my life because I rarely read anything that wasn't like a sports article or a newspaper article, or online. And when I picked up these books, like, it took me maybe 2 to 3 weeks to finish the first book. That is like a speed reader for me. It brought me a love of reading that I never had before. So I can never, no matter how if he ends them, praise God, no matter how he ends, he will. Everybody, he will put it out there in the ether. No matter how it ends, I'm appreciative that he gave me the joy of reading that I never had. So I have to say that by that alone, the books outweigh the show tenfold. Because again, I'm the type of person, I'll read a chapter and I might have to go back and read it because I just forgot what I read. But with these books, I didn't have to do that. I was so into the books. Like, I reread them because I wanted to reread them, not because I had to. So if anybody out there understands that, and hasn't read these books yet and loves fantasy and sci-fi or high fantasy, read these books because they're amazing. They really are. They changed my life. I enjoy reading now more than I ever thought I ever would. So that's my take on the books. I don't know why I threw that out there. Oh, because they'd lost focus. It just upsets me to think that a masterpiece that helped change my life, these guys thought they were better than that. And they just didn't care anymore. And they were looking at their Star Wars money at the time. Sons of a bitches.
Jesus.
Yes. Jesus. Take the wheel. The White Walkers would have come south quicker if they invented sledge technology. Sledge technology? Like a sledgehammer?
Sledge technology?
I don't understand that. Do you get that?
Or sled technology.
Does he mean sled? Is that sled? How you spell sled?
I sort of read it as sled.
Okay. It might be sled. Okay. It looks like sledge to me, but all right.
Oh, I don't know.
I just told you all I have issues with reading. Okay.
Sleds would have got him down faster though.
Way faster. Well, we spoke about it once before. Like, if the ice situation. The ice, it's like when Jon and the group were north on that little rock and the ice broke in a perfect donut shape, like, they couldn't turn that back to ice. So I guess they can't, because wouldn't they be able to walk around the wall? Like, I've always thought about that, like make an ice bridge that just loops around the wall and comes back to land either on the east or west end.
Take too long to walk around.
But at the moment they can't even get through it. So why not maybe just give it into they were at Heart Home.
But we know Right.
Like that's
And
on
we
like what,
know
the West Coast or East Coast?
it
East Coast.
was no East Coast.
East
But
Coast,
we
yeah.
know that they bring the cold with them.
Yes.
The White Walkers are made of ice.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
why
you
wouldn't
got
they be
something
able
there,
to
Jayne.
freeze the water?
I think you got something there.
Not just stand there looking at it.
I, and I said to you, maybe salt water is harder. That's why they can't do the bridge around. But that was a lake. Okay.
And it was freezing cold outside.
It was cold. Like they couldn't just walk up and put one finger in and the whole thing just goes like Iceman from the X-Men franchise. Like he could do it and make a pair of skates. Why couldn't they?
Even if they couldn't, they could have just walked across. Like it's a lake. Just walk. There will be a deep end, and then you'll come out the other end.
That's all it is. Oh my god, so stupid. So stupid. Or maybe throw rocks at them. Just do something. They're just all standing there.
We know they can make weapons. They have chains.
Oh, that chain out of nowhere. Yeah, the javelin. Come on. Oh, I hate that show.
They were easy pickings with the javelins.
They really were. We're going to get into the Tyrion one a little bit later because I do also agree that they just screwed Tyrion up completely.
Yeah.
But I think we should get into Dorne first because that was next on your list. And let me just show you that in my writing, everything is on one line except for Dorne. I doubled it up because I can't stand. And I included Jaime and Bronn storyline too, like the buddy cop storyline.
Yeah.
Just aggravated the crap out of me.
I kind of like that part.
Okay.
A little bit.
Your own.
Because I like Bronn. One of the changes I did like that we saw more of him and his personality. So they gave him things to do. I appreciated that part.
Yes. I agree with you completely. So it is a sled. I really thought sled had an eye in there somewhere. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm bad. I'm sorry. I can't read. I graduated. I swear. So I didn't mind. Look, that's one thing I put on my good thing. Bronn being, you see more Bronn in the show than you do in the books. Now in the books, he does have some cool things going on.
He does.
I mean, I forgot all the stuff he did until I researched it again today. So if you remember, what did he do?
Well, I don't remember everything he did. I just remember I liked the character and I liked his little quips, and he was just, it's like there were these instances where they saw a bright spot in the story and said, let's pull that out and explore that further.
Right.
Why couldn't they just continue to do that?
With everything?
Yeah.
Everything. Well, so Bronn in the books, he turns down Tyrion to be his fighter against the Mountain, and his champion against the Mountain, and gets a lordship, marries one of the Stokeworths, I believe.
Yeah. What's her name?
Lolly Stokeworth. She has a sister and a brother-in-law that are working with Cersei, who thinks after he names Lolly's bastard son Tyrion, that's him saying F you to Cersei. So she wants them to kill him. And the Lord husband tries to, does a one-on-one with Bronn, where Bronn does a little dirty play and kills him. Right. And kicks her out of the castle and pronounces himself and his wife Lord of Stokeworth. So it's pretty dope. Like he's actually gaining power. He's hired like sellswords, hedge knights, but they're really just dirty sellswords.
Yeah.
I really think he might become something more in the books because George has said he's a character he enjoys writing about.
I don't know where he would fit.
Well, think about
final battle.
Well, Tyrion coming back with Dany. I think that's going to happen.
Okay.
Wouldn't his people, his castle, raise their banners for the Targaryens then? You know what I mean? Like maybe he'll come out and fight for them.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I could see that. Maybe he's positioned in a place where he could be helpful. There's so many characters at this point. It's how much attention could he get?
He's not going to be a POV. We know that. but he could be like part of a Tyrion and a Dany chapter.
Right.
But like back to Dorne, he was so much better in the show because the actor is so good.
Yeah.
Like all hail to that guy. I love his acting. I love that him and Cersei, the actress couldn't be in the same room at the same time.
I felt that was ridiculous.
I mean, let's be
It's a
professional
job.
people.
Right.
Is that bad of a relationship? Like I can understand if like one of you were violent, maybe, but you broke up. Live with it. You're getting paid millions, you bastards.
Right.
I would sit in a room with Stalin for like millions of dollars,
Easily.
okay? And brush his hair.
Anyone.
I wouldn't like them, but I would sit in the room. Because I'm a capitalist. But Dorne altogether was a mess. Okay. What do you think about Dorne? And then I'll jump in because I like hearing your thoughts.
Okay, besides the fact that they screwed over the culture and the characters, the sand snakes in the show
sums it all up. Okay, keep going.
Just complete, like, what? They were made into a joke.
Yep. Caricatures of what they were in the books.
Caricatures and just so simplistic in their mindset and their dialogue. They didn't do anything. I don't even know why they were there. Like, why even introduce Dorne?
There was really no reason. I feel like they opened the Dorne chapter. Nothing. Well, yeah. And I think they opened the Dorne chapter because Marcella goes there in the books and they did not know what to do with it. It would have been better if they left it out completely.
Yeah,
but how do you add, you leave out Quentin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge part of
which is the whole point, right?
You leave out Ariana or Ariana, is it? The oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You leave her out. That's a huge part of the books, but you have to because they left out something even bigger.
Yeah, there's no Dorne plot. So I mean,
right
at this point, why have them? I think people wanted to see the sand snakes.
Yes, and
so
after
maybe they were like, let's just put them there.
Right,
they won't do anything,
Right,
and then we'll just kill them and be done with it.
Well, Pascal played an amazing Oberyn.
He did.
He played like that is what I like in my head. If I had to envision Oberyn, like I see him now every single time. He played that to a T.
That was him.
And then you get into the next one with a great actor, and I forget his name, playing Doran. Okay, he doesn't look as deformed as Doran does in the books. I mean, Doran's knuckles and every joint is like all swollen from the gout. Like his feet are all swollen, his legs barely work. Like,
well, they weren't going to do that.
Well, they should have. Just a nice looking guy in a wheelchair.
Well, that's understandable. I can't.
And is Tristan even in the books?
Oh shoot, is he?
I don't remember. Does anybody know Tristan in the books? Oh, like a snowmobile. Oh, okay. Not like a Red Rider type thing, like one of the ones on rails like you see on Christmas shows that you can kind of turn the front and the back, or like an actual power motored snowmobile. Oh, he's asking the question too, Adam. That's right. You're from the Stormlands. I forgot. The Dorne storyline from season 5 was the definition of what is that? Casual. I can't read.
Casualized. A casual.
Casualty. A casualty. Okay. Bronn was a cool character, but he wasn't important. He should have just been retired and written out of the story.
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, it isn't. It is, but like him going after Jaime and Tyrion and would have killed them if they didn't promise him something more. And
well, that was stupid. That was stupid. That's not going to happen. Again, logistically, some of the decisions they made with this story just didn't make practical sense.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have been able to do that. He wouldn't have thought to do it. I mean, he may have thought about it, but he would have been killed.
Right. Right. Like they were inside of Winterfell. I don't think they were outside of Winterfell. I'm pretty sure they weren't outside of Winterfell.
Oh, and inside.
Yeah, so he gets inside of a fully like occupied castle, which is being guarded because they just fought a battle.
Right.
He just strolls in with a crossbow, the same one that Joffrey had. Like, it's just, come on. Like, ooh, we're going to be so poetic. Let's see your death.
No, sir.
So, can I just say Rosa? Rosa? I'm really sorry. I don't mean any disrespect. Can you hyphenetically spell it in the chat so I know how to say it right? She thinks he's a small child in the books, which most likely he was playing with other kids at the water garden. I think she's right.
Yeah.
To anybody else,
that sounds right.
we got a couple more people in the chat. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, share. I think I'm almost at 800, right? $7.99. So if you haven't subscribed to me, it's free. And subscribe to Jayne. She's amazing.
Hey.
What is this?
Sadiq Fidel?
Who's Sadiq Fidel? Is that the actor?
It maybe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Removing Ariana Martel was a massive mistake. We just got the bang of a great YouTuber.
Christy.
So sorry. It's hard now with work actually getting semi back to normal. I was like,
I'm just happy you're here.
Huh?
We're just happy you're here.
Yeah. Thank you.
No,
so
seriously.
I know I've been listening as I've been like going home. I've been listening to what y'all have been talking about, and I was like, damn, that's right. I can agree with that. Is there is there anything y'all haven't talked about yet?
Oh God, a lot. Rosa. Okay, Rosa. Thank you.
I love how it's spelled.
I know, me too. That's why it threw me off there. Rosa, thank you very much. And for the kind words you said in my comment section on one of the other streams. I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that.
I subscribe to you.
Yeah, I did too. Time Prophet. If you have not subscribed to him, do it. He has such a cool voice. I thought he was Scottish, but I guess he's English. So we were just
American.
Yeah. When you get to 1,000 subs, it's working. I'm going to unsubscribe just to psych you.
I've done that before. I've done that before to people just to piss them off.
Oh, that's so messed up.
See, that's why I wait.
I could see him do it. I'm gonna wait till I'm like at like 1050 maybe. You son of a gun. That was a good one, man. Also played Dr. Bashir in Deep Space Nine. I did not know. Oh, that's why he looks familiar. He has been in a bunch of stuff. The guy who played Dorne. Right? Yeah.
I'll give them that. They had great casts.
But what did
cast
they do with it?
members, but nothing.
Oh, so Marcella was. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Tristan.
Yeah, she was engaged to him. I just don't remember anything he did in the books.
He was young. She was young.
Yeah.
She was about, right? She was about Sansa's age. So she might have been like 11 in the books. That's another thing I said was good about the show, but also bad about the show, that they up-aged all the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They up-aged everybody.
I wish they hadn't. I think it would have been interesting seeing these killer kids.
Well, also, like, not just killer kids, but like the sex scenes, the different things. Like, I don't think they would have been able to get away with it.
That's the reason why they aged up the kids.
I mean, think about Dany. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. We'll get to that one. And I forgot to write that down. The Dany love making scene with Count Drago. That wasn't on my list. Right. We spoke about that last week, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So, what did you hate about Dorne, Christy?
Everything. I mean, Ilaria is completely different in the books than she is in the show. She doesn't want war. She wants to protect her children. And Nymeria Sand, she's on the small council with Cersei.
Yep.
And the bastard Valerion, Aaron Waters.
Yep.
I can't remember what else. But I would have been happy with the characters, but the actress who played Ilaria she did a damn fine job with what she had. And I think that's why Dan and Dave liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that's season 5. I kind of dipped out a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
Because of that. Because I was like, son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah. I got to ask the Time Prophet one question. Is Isles of Man part of the Welsh area of the British Isle? Because I always thought I was Scottish until I did one of those DNA tests. I was always told I was Scottish, a quarter Scottish. My grandmother's last name is Urquhart, and that's like a castle right on Loch Ness. Come to find out, I'm like only 1% Scottish, and the rest is Welsh with a focus on the Isles of Man. So I don't know if that's actually a Welsh island. Let me know.
Both those are like the Scottish and the Welsh. They have more indigenous Britain ancestry.
They're the ones who fought off the Romans.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's still your people.
Great thing called the internet.
What? No, but
you can look it up. There's this great thing called the internet. You can look it up.
I'm lazy, Christy. Thank you. And I like to put my stubs and people in the comments into work. They have to work for it. Claudia C, thank you very much for in the books. Marcel was engaged to Tristan. Thank you for putting that up there because I could
pretty dog in the Avatar.
Toxic Man Flu, I love you too, bro. Someone speak.
But you mentioned the Citadel and the whole like Sorella Sand subplot, I guess, where
that's true too.
Yeah, and the thing about that sort of ticked me off was people talk a lot about quote unquote diversity in Hollywood. Well, there was your minority character.
Right.
Didn't show her at all. Didn't cast her.
She was black, right?
Yeah.
Her mother was from the Summer Isles.
Uh-huh.
Like Black as Night, they actually write, don't they? He puts the mother was like black. Like people from the Summer Isles are very dark. And she was definitely black. And they decided to make her
nothing. She didn't show up.
Oh, she didn't.
No.
Which ones did they have in the book? They had the "Did you like my pussy, girl?" And they had Butch one that was like,
God, never say that again.
I felt so uncomfortable just saying it.
They had Obara.
Obara's the butcher one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nymeria and Elia.
So Obara, go ahead.
Obara and Nymeria have different mothers, and Tyene is Alaria's oldest daughter.
Right. Is that the same in the book?
No, it's not. They combined it with another character. Tyene did for the Tyene in the show.
Because she has a couple younger daughters in the book that she sends to separate castles to try to keep them safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I said earlier that it could also be that maybe this is a plot of hers, that she is looking for revenge and putting these kids in different castles to help take over, but they're too young. So that kind of goes out the window.
Unless they know about poisons.
Which they may. They are sand snakes. But fun fact, the oldest sand snake was in a great New Zealand show. I used to love it. And it only had like 2 or 3 seasons. They freaking can't.
I know what you're talking
Almighty
about.
Johnsons.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that show.
I will do a freaking live stream on that. I love that show so much. I've watched it like 4 times straight through. I love it that much.
The ending. I did not like how it ended.
Because they knew it sucked. They needed more seasons. Like they were building to something really cool. Yeah. Sorry, really going off.
But then that gets you back into people when it's something that it takes a season or two potentially to the show to like catch its stride and stuff like that.
Right.
And I feel like season 1 Game of Thrones really had that. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why they're fans of the show, and shows become cultural phenomenons. I mean, people still talk about it. They start YouTube channels about it or group chats and stuff like that, and with fans and everything. And then the abysmal season 8, yeah.
Smooth Jam
That's
says
a good point.
He puts it kind of what you were touching on. Jayne, is that the sand snakes all look different in the book to reinforce how far traveled Oberyn was. It was pretty cool and unique, but of course the show had to casualize it all by making them look the same. And he's
exactly the same.
So right. Like that was a huge part of what Oberyn did. It showed that he slept with women wherever he went. He had bastards, but he took care of all his bastards.
He did, and trained them.
You skipped over Meta Studios.
Where's Meta Studios?
They said hi in the chat.
I'm sorry, I missed that one. Where? Oh yeah. My ears must have been burning. You are talking about Welsh folk. We are, because I don't know if I'm. They say I'm Welsh, but I'm also. Who's got the echo? I'm Welsh, but also it focused on the Isle of Man, and I was trying to find out if that is part of the Welsh culture. That's all.
It's funny that they have the ears burning thing. I thought that was just an American saying.
Yeah, I did too. That's pretty cool. The Isle of Man has its own laws and its own government. That's
really
cool. I didn't know that. I mean, they have an awesome bike race.
It's like the Isle of Faces.
Huh?
It's like the Isle of Faces.
I'm from the Isle of Faces. My ancestors. That's so cool. They had to age up the kids in the Ender Games too. Makes me worried about these authors. Yeah, I think like George. So if you don't know about George had a plan when he went into writing these books, where he was only going to write a trilogy, and after the second book, he was going to age the kids up a 5-year gap. So that's one reason why in book 2 you meet what's his name? Ned Dane.
Dane.
Yeah. He's only like 11 or 12, but they were going to age him up to be like most likely the next bearer of Dawn. But because he didn't age them up, that's how we got in the Dornish storyline, we got Darkstar. So like little things like that had to change because George completely, after book 2, realized this is much longer series and I don't want to age him up because it'll screw up other people's plot lines. And so he kind of wrote himself out of that, but that's why the kids are so young. Yes, English kings married children in real life. That's good to know.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Regular people did here too.
Yeah.
Henry VIII's mother, she was 13 when she got married, I think. 13 or 14 years old.
I was about to say a really raunchy rhyme that goes with that, but I'm not going to.
Don't you dare do it.
I already said the whole kitty cat thing, and I'm done. The sand snakes all look different in the. Oh, I already talked about that. Sorry, you made me scroll back up. I forgot about that. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So, what else about Dorne? I just altogether a mess. Altogether,
very much so. I mean, even casual fans do their due diligence, I think. Mm-hmm. And they found out, like, even just looking through like the Wikipedia or something like that, and knew Dorne's plot was a mess.
Yeah.
And they thought that the sand snakes were boring.
Much props, Adam. See, 13-year-olds can't have children. Wow. Yeah. So how old are you? Like, do people think your mom is your sister? Like, do they, because she's so much like close to you in age? And I have to give her credit. 13-year-old girl giving birth to a child. She kept you. You're an amazing person. I'm talking my way into a corner right here, so I'm going to just drop this. Okay. They also screwed up. I'm such a moron. I'm sorry, Adam. They also screwed up because Dorne was such a shithole. And they didn't add, which what we're going to go into next, Aegon. They screwed up that whole, like Aegon was such a big part. He's such a big part of the later books. And not to even touch on him in the story, in the show, and give, first of all, give Jon his name. So now Rhaegar had 2 sons, both named Aegon, which was the dumbest thing ever. It aggravated me because I think the Aegon plotline, it screwed up Tyrion's journey. Mm-hmm. It screwed up Dorne's whole plot line, and we haven't got there yet, but I think it also screws up what happens in King's Landing at the end of the season.
It does.
It really does. What do you think?
Oh wow, Adam. Still though,
42 years ago. Wow. Well, God bless you, my brother. You're 42. I am 44. Look at us. We are
you boomers.
Us Gen Xers stick.
You're Gen X.
We're boomers. We'd be like 70 something right now, but that's okay. I still don't know where the hell that one came from. Another monster. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I know. One more sub to 800. Woo! Do it.
They're not aging people properly though. Like they keep calling people in their 30s and late 20s. Well, they keep referring to millennials who are people in their 30s and late 20s as if they're Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is so screwed up.
Everyone forgets Gen Z is actually a generation, and they're still like considered millennials right now.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Do not get me started on millennials and Zoomers and just those little bastards. But
like millennials have bills. Like we have jobs.
They have bills. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, it's just like a Gen Z or no. What are they? Z's?
Yeah.
Are they Gen Z?
Generation Z.
Okay, so the Gen Zers think that Gen Xers are boomers. That's how young they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I meant to read that. The Dornish master plan in the book, intricate and well-crafted plot to oust the Lannisters over the course of decades.
Right.
The Dornish master plan in the show. Let's kill our own prince and uncle. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And then let's also remember that they got him. My little sword thing. Got him.
Is that a toothpick thing?
Yeah, it's a little toy of my kids. I don't know.
Okay.
They got him. Okay. Now you have a paramour and bastards kill the Prince of Dorne, take out his guard, and then take over Dorne. Who in their right mind, any other lord in Dorne would say, "Oh, okay, you guys are in charge."
But Scott, they subverted your expectations.
They did.
They did.
Right out the door. I'm okay.
But there's another example of what we were talking about before about how the lords wouldn't react this way. This is not how politics works.
Right.
In today's time, let alone back then.
Right. So don't forget the Danes are in Dorne. The Yarwoods, I think. There's so many like strong, not powerful, but in Dorne they're strong. Families, ancient families, and they allow these sand snakes just to take over.
So who was your least favorite character in the show?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, why don't you tell us yours?
Bran. He's
Bran 2000 was my least favorite.
He sits there and he does nothing up until like season.
Talk so weird.
I would even say up until end of season 6, where he was actually learning and everything like that. And then you see the journey. You see him with his father when Ned was going to the Tower of Joy, and you see that build up. And that's great. And I'm kind of doing a tangent a little bit, but I'll come back to it.
No, go for it.
And then you find out when Lyanna is laying there, his name is Aegon. And you know that meme where it's like, get the F out of here. I literally said that when I watched that. I said, you kidding me? His name is Aegon too?
I'm so mad when that happened. So mad. Like I thought it was gonna be Jaharis.
Right.
I mean that was a great king. Jaharis was one of the greatest kings, and it starts with Jay.
No creativity.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
None. I can't say Bran was my least favorite though.
But then I like the reactions when people do when he's Bran the Broken. And
yeah,
I want to give him a massive round of applause. He got the Iron Throne just by sitting there. What was another one? There was the one guy who goes, "All this dude was playing Bird Simulator all day."
Did y'all see Aaron Rodgers' video where he talks about that?
No.
You haven't seen it?
He was.
No. I want to send you the link.
Never seen it?
No,
You've never seen it, Scott?
I'll share it right
He was
now.
an
I've never
extra.
seen, put it in the private chat. He was
Okay,
an
so
extra?
yeah, in the last, I don't know if it was episode 5 or I think it was episode 5, where there's a scene where it's like it's a tunnel, like a. Here, I'm gonna go on camera for a second here. Sorry,
I did
but
hit
it's like
okay.
where
Wait a minute. Let me get this out of the way so you can see. Hold on.
So here's the flat line right here, and the tunnel curves up, and you see a dead body running, and I think that's Aaron. That's
No
Aaron.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know that. Hey Rennie. Hey, love that. I was wondering where you were. Glad to see you here. Another monster is here. Dark Side Droid is here. We'll get on Catelyn. Dude, please give us a minute.
Oh,
That's
Jesus. There you go.
One that really,
That's really.
Oh, that one bothered me more than I think anything. But thank you. Dark Side Droid got me over 800, so I appreciate you. I just saved it so I can send out the picture later. 800 subs. I can't even believe I was hoping for like 100 when I started. It's crazy. Thank you to everybody. Let's get to 1,000.
I'm gonna unsubscribe.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
I should do it right now.
Do it right now. I took the freaking picture. I got it.
You got
it. Don't you worry.
Hey,
but thank you for being here. You are a friend. You guys are all friends. I feel like I've gotten to know all of you, and I don't even know what half of you look like. I love it though. It's the same people, and I love this chat. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Hold on. You girls keep talking, and I'll be right back. Oh, I just put you completely on.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm Christy.
Jayne, do you know who your least favorite was?
Oh, it was Catelyn.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I hate her in the books, in the show.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what though? I hate her, but like acting wise, I think I hated like Euron more, or I hated. I like the actress. I just hated Catelyn.
For what the actors got, I mean, I never have really said, well, kind of, sort of,
Dick.
with the whole backlash with season 8, but it's just they're given what they got. I mean, it's not their fault that the dialogue and the story. I mean, that's not their fault. Production or anything.
Right.
That's strictly on the creators and the head honchos of that. I mean, they got too big, and I think they just wanted to end it, which I don't blame them. I completely understand.
Oh, I blame them.
I blame them because they could have handed it off to someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what I mean by that is I don't blame them for wanting. I mean, it was 10 years. I mean, that's a long time for a show. But then, like, I'm going to go back to what y'all just said, that they could have handed it off. I mean, I think that would have been perfect.
Why not? Like, they were that arrogant.
Yeah. Euron is a dick in the book. He sure is.
He is.
But like Euron in the show was such a non-Euron that's why I hated it.
Yeah.
You know, like
I call him a hot topic pirate. He's the hot topic pirate.
Right. He really
is. He really is.
He really is.
Beware the grits. That's the
Beware the grits.
Beware the grits. I completely agree. Like, he's such a dick in the books, but he's so I'm so captivated by like what's happening with his storyline, you know? All right, let's share this. Let's just hope my whole computer doesn't get bogged down. Chrome tab.
Make sure to share the audio.
Ah, crap.
Did not work?
I completely forgot to share the audio. Why don't they just like have a don't share the audio tab? You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you know how my computer is. I shouldn't have tried to make it big because now it's freaking freezing, I think. Ah, shit.
Click play and see what happens.
I just did.
Oh.
It's frozen. Let me stop it. God, I hate my life. Bear with me. Keep talking. Oh, it just happens as I restart the damn thing. Can I stop it? No. Ah, son of a motherless goat.
Oh
Damn
my.
it. All right, we'll come back to that. We're going to stop that for a second.
I can pull it up. I just got to get my headphones real quick.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks. So as she's gone, let us move on to somebody else. Yeah, right. So we said the Stark kids not all being wargs. That bothered me, but
yeah,
we went through that. Jon's death we went through. Barris and Salmi. I really, 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 really hate what they did to him in the that last season he was in. Barris and Salmi is supposed to be one of the greatest swordsmen in all of Westeros, we'll just say.
yeah.
And he gets murdered by a small gang of kids, but Greywind survives. You know what I mean? Like, he should have cut through those dudes like butter, but yet he gets killed in a little alley from like nobodies instead of dying for his queen or something like that. That aggravated the shit out of me. And he's still alive in the books, people.
Well, like the same could be said about the Blackfish, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's more of a minor character. I was going to say a minority character. He's more of a minor character.
No, I love him. I love the Blackfish, and I think they don't play him right in the show either. I like the actor who played the Blackfish. I think he kind of had that grizzled attitude. I think if I imagine Blackfish now, I see that guy, but the Blackfish would go out fighting and we'd actually see it, though, I would hope.
But that's the thing too, like, why invest in such great actors for these roles only to throw them away?
That's a valid question. And these people, a lot of them didn't know they were going to die that quick. Like, you have the guy who played Barristan begged them not to kill him off because he's still alive in the books.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. There we go.
No. I love the show, and it was a great 10 years, but no. I mean, you come down to the end, and Tyrion says the person with the best story is Bran. By the way, 3 episodes ago said he wasn't Bran Stark anymore. No, Bran had a better story. Dany had a better story. Arya had a better story. Sansa had a better story. Tyrion had a better story. Varys had a better story. Bronn, a lot better story. Jaime, better story. Cersei, probably better stories. Any Baratheon, better story.
Yeah.
Who should have been on the throne? I mean, I think Dany should have been on the throne. Here's the thing, though. Here's my last theory about it. If Bran, the three-eyed raven, who's all about the health of the realm, let's think about what he did. He basically wanted the throne the whole time because he's the one that told the Starks, knowing that Sansa would tell Tyrion, knowing that Tyrion would talk to Varys, knowing they'd scheme for Dany's death, knowing that would piss her off, which led her to be the Mad Queen.
There you go.
So he the entire time kind of set this whole thing up, and at the end he goes, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be king. Oh, but why did I travel all this way to be here?" Look, I love the opportunity to be in the show, which most people probably don't think I was, but I was there. I love the show, but the writers are also doing Star Wars, so I think they might have been a little busy this last season.
That is fantastic. Oh, that is fantastic. He hit the nail on the head. I mean, it was convoluted mess. He couldn't be Lord of Winterfell because he couldn't have children, and he's not a guy anymore, but yet he could be king. It made no sense. Sucks. God, this show sucks. All right.
And Sansa can just become declare for an independent North.
Mm-hmm.
But the Iron Islands, who have been wanting independence this entire time, who earned it,
Dorne would want to be part of it. I mean,
everything would fall apart.
Right. If you allow
just handing out freedom
to your sister, to your sister too. And you're not telling me that's setting up in the future generations a war. There was one of the dumbest ploys. Now, will the North be its own kingdom? I have a feeling that a lot of the kingdoms are going to be their own kingdoms again, but I don't know.
Well, that begs to say, if George ever finishes the books, I could see it from it being all one kingdom to maybe just it branching off to like separate countries or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but we need to know if he ever finishes the book, though. I'm just saying.
Damn, Nerd Cookies. Look at your new symbol there. I like it. My girl's flying high. She is blowing up. If you are not, she really is. If you are not part of Nerd Cookies subscription, or you're not a subscriber, I don't know what you're doing, because she has awesome content and taught me so much about Dune. And I can't wait for this movie now. I am so stoked for this movie after watching her stuff. Like I liked the old movie, but never read the books. I'm really excited to see this movie. All right. So where are we off to next? Do we want to talk about, can I tell you something I noticed?
What?
Going through this. I said, one of the good things I liked was the Varys versus Littlefinger things at the beginning of the seasons. I really liked their going at each other, and chaos is a latter. I love that.
That's the game of wills.
Yeah, right. It was who was who. But when I was rereading stuff, I realized that when Catelyn is at the brothel with Littlefinger and tells him about the dagger, and he says, I've seen that dagger before. And then Ned comes and they're all talking about Varys is there.
Yeah.
Varys knows. He has to know that Tyrion would never bet against Jaime Lannister. He allowed it to happen.
Holy shit.
I never realized that till recently. He allowed it to happen because he wanted the chaos.
Well,
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because you remember he's having that walk, like the wolf and the lion are at each other's throat, and they wanted to like slow it down a little bit, but he could have said something there like, no, that does not seem like Tyrion, but he didn't. He sat back and never told them that is not the knife. Tyrion definitely didn't bet that knife against Jaime. So it was just something I picked up. I thought was kind of cool. I never noticed it. And that's like probably like the fifth time I read that section. Things I hate. Let's go back to that.
How long is your list?
One page.
Wow. Oh my
pages,
God.
3 pages. 3 pages.
But going back to what you just said, though, you also have to remember prior to that, I believe, Littlefinger set it up with Cat that Varys knows everything.
Exactly.
So even it adds something to it, the fact that he didn't say anything.
Exactly. Like he let it happen.
Right. But you almost wonder, I mean, we know Littlefinger is involved in all of this as well, and he's plotting too, but it's almost as if he set up that expectation. He knows everything. He will be able to tell you whatever you need to know about this. And then he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's true. I didn't think of it even like that too. Because he does say that in that meeting. Oh shit. I like how you're thinking about that.
It's like he builds in this confidence in Varys. Builds up her confidence in him so that she will trust him.
Right.
And trust his instincts. And so if he doesn't say anything to contradict what she thinks.
Right. He's adding to it.
She must be on the right track.
Exactly. That's crazy, isn't it? Like he wanted this so it's not just Littlefinger that allowed this, started the wheel going. It was also Varys made the conscious decision to allow them to believe it was Tyrion who tried to have them Bran killed.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I know Varys, And that's another thing I hated about the show, Varys. I love the actor. Don't get me wrong. I love how he played Varys. But Varys's whole plot goes into Aegon. His whole thing is Aegon. Yeah. But in the show, he has no purpose other for the realm.
For the realm.
For the realm. It's bullshit.
Did you watch the Last Watch documentary?
I was just talking to her about that. She hasn't watched it yet.
Oh my God, you haven't seen Connolith, his reaction?
No, I saw that clip.
Dude, you gotta watch that whole thing.
Yeah,
it's so good. It really is good. It was better than the final season.
I'll see if I still have the link because I don't have HBO anymore. So I will allegedly try to find the link for you.
Allegedly.
I saw that clip on a Dragon Demands channel.
Oh, thank you for getting me into that channel. I enjoy it now. I never knew of it until you told me about that a couple weeks ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good channel. Varys was obsessed with the Targaryen restoration. He definitely helped undermine the North and other kingdoms. Right. But it wasn't a Targaryen restoration. It was a Aegon restoration. And that's the thing that
Blackfire.
It may be a Blackfire.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
Likely,
okay.
Right. Most likely. But it could a dragon, right? But he makes the Mad King go nuts pretty much and allows, he knows Tywin's going to sack most likely the kingdom, but he allows him in. He doesn't help the kingdom prior to the downfall. It's almost like he helped create the downfall of the Mad King, because it was like once Varys came, his whisperer, things got even worse. But we don't really hear exactly what he did, but he was the one that talked the Mad King into letting Tywin into the city. Now, if you were really trying to fight for the Targaryens, would you let anybody into the city at that point? I wouldn't. If you want to defend the city, put your men right outside the gates and fight from there. That's what I would have said. But he's all about that Aegon. He wants Aegon, so he'll crush Dany, he'll crush Jon, he'll crush anybody who gets in his way. It's not a Targaryen restoration. I don't believe it is. It's his ploy to get Aegon on the Mummer's dragon on the Iron Throne. Darren says, went to the library and said to the clerk, I'm looking for a book called How to Deal with Rejection Without Killing Anyone. Do you have it? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I love it. Oh, man. I like this one. I think Littlefinger is an agent of the foreign interest working for the Iron Bank. I believe in that Iron Bank, Littlefinger, Faceless Men, and maybe one of the Sea Lords of Bravos type of conspiracy. And some of the clues are he knows how much a Faceless Man would cost. He gets the crown, he bankrupts the crown, so the Iron Bank has to come in. You know what I mean? Like, he does all these little things. His grandfather's from Bravos. There's just so many intertwining things with that. I like that, Adam. I definitely like that.
And I will always say, I always get his last name mixed up. Butchered. Aiden Gillian.
Oh, the one who played
the man. Yeah, the one who played Littlefinger.
Serious black guy.
Him and Connell Hill.
Even though he's not the same guy, right?
I know.
Don't they look so much alike?
They really do.
They do.
But they play such good. I mean, they did a great job. I think up until, like we said, the latter seasons. I always go back and I find myself going on YouTube and finding Littlefinger and Varys interactions just to see the dynamic of them just bouncing off of each other. And it's really great.
It is. It's amazing. Just like Tyrion in the early seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion went from like this brilliant strategist and player of the game to a walking moron.
Yeah,
like literally a walking moron. All he did was walk and stare at things and screw things up. It was sad. But that goes to show you how well George wrote and how shitty Dan and Dave wrote. Like, George just had it on lockdown and he understood Tyrion because Tyrion's a part of his mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's aggravating. Littlefinger is, I think he's a quarter Bravoshi.
I don't know if it's his grandfather or his great grandfather, but it's one of the two.
Well, his grandfather was, but his grandmother might have been too, so that would have made his father. So yeah, okay, half.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if the grandfather married a Westerosi woman or a Braavos woman. So we got, this is what, okay, so not having Aegon screws up Varys, screws up Tyrion's journey, screws up Dany's journey because Dany then the bells, which is definitely a John Connington thing. It just screws up. I think not having Aegon screwed up a huge part of this story. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, because it takes away the dynamic.
Mhm.
Because after, I would say, what, season 4, season 5?
4.
Well, I maybe see you, like with the Stormlands, you really don't hear about them much up until Gendry is proclaimed the Lord of the
Stormlands.
whatever castle, Storm ends. Storm ends. But then it's just, I'm like, well, didn't Aegon and the Golden Company like land there and just
yeah?
I mean,
it changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Aegon's gonna take Storm's End. Who's there? Edric Storm. Okay, Edric Storm will be then. Aegon, I think, in the next book will declare him a true Baratheon, and he will maybe. I have a feeling that they're going to try to marry Edric Storm to another mess up part of this freaking thing, to Stannis's daughter, if she makes it through. Which I don't know why George would burn her. There's no reason to,
That's the other thing.
Except to resurrect Jon, not to get
that's better
weather. Not to get better weather, though. They screwed that up so bad. Like, if they're gonna sacrifice her, which I doubt, I really don't think he is.
I don't either.
But if he does,
I hope not.
I don't think she has to.
I can see Shireen. I can see Shireen, like the main Baratheon line, being gone, and there's only the bastard line.
Right.
But I hope to God that that better not be in a book. I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, think about it. In the books they talk about how Edric Storm and Shireen were very close. Now imagine Aegon legitimizes him as a king. He's now a Baratheon. He can marry Shireen, and that would concrete the Stormlands to Aegon's cause. Killing her off to bring back Jon Snow makes no sense at the moment because
she's not even there.
Right.
Well, no, I thought she's there, isn't she?
No, she's not at the wall. They're at the Night Fort. Her mother. Right. Right. They're at the Night Fort. They're not even at Castle Black.
But this is the thing I'm trying to say.
Or Winterfell.
Why would they sacrifice her, a princess, to bring back a bastard?
Kingsblood. She still has Kingsblood.
I get that, but why? Why would you sacrifice her to bring back Jon Snow, who right now Melisandre still doesn't think is anything super special? She thinks there's something about him, and she does see Snow when she looks for Azor Ahai, but she still believes Stannis is Azor Ahai. So why kill his daughter to bring back the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch that his own men murdered? There's no reason for that.
Who knows?
She will sacrifice somebody else. I'm thinking Val. She doesn't like the wildlings that much. Val is considered a princess of the wildlings. It's not just King's blood. It's either you have to have First Man or Valerian blood. I think that's what it is. So why kill Shireen to bring back just a Lord Commander that his own men killed? Not anybody special. Like, and you're not going to sacrifice her so they get better weather. Like, it was just a dumb part of the storyline. And everyone now thinks that she's going to be sacrificed when you're absolutely right. She's not even at the same castle. they're going to drag her all the way back to Castle Black to bring back a bastard. Like,
really drag her across the countryside to burn her.
Yeah, just to burn her. Like, I don't know if people realize that. We all love Jon Snow and we know that he's more, but they don't. They don't realize Jon Snow is more. All he is a bastard son of the Stark family that became Lord Commander, and his own freaking men killed him. So why sacrifice a princess over that? That's all I'm saying. Everyone's so stuck on that idea, and I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
This is my first time actually hearing that.
What? Shireen being sacrificed for Jon?
For Jon, yeah.
Oh, no shit. I've heard that so many times, and I don't understand why people think that.
That's so illogical.
Perfect.
What
it makes
okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's one scene that you legit cried on Game of Thrones?
Oh,
I know. It was for me. It was only one scene.
I don't think I cried.
Hodor.
Oh, that was sad.
Hodor.
I didn't cry for that though.
I can tell you,
I cried like a baby.
No.
I felt bad for.
I was
felt
shocked
bad for how he went out
when they started showing how he came to
be
say
Hodor.
Hodor. Yeah, that revelation was shocking.
Fucking Bran. I think the Hodor thing will happen because.
Oh, I think so too.
George confirmed hold the door, but I think it's going to be the Black Gate under the wall.
Toxic man flu.
Why is that son of a bitch saying now? I love him. Is this one? At Sporky News, please. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to get between locations in Westeros. Okay.
Boom, you're there.
Drop the mic. He got me on that one. I forgot. We have to have the little finger teleportation device. Like, didn't we talk about this last week? They were on that island of snow, or the island in the lake, where for some reason the White Walkers can't freeze water, so they're waiting. Gendry runs,
and then for how long do they wait? Because it's supposed to be so extra cold up there,
right? And it's maybe a night, not even. But Gendry runs to the wall, tells them what's going on. They send a raven to Dragon's End or Dragonstone. And then Dany flies her dragon up to save them in like less than 12 hours.
After having a conversation about it.
Yes. 12 hours, maybe. I'll give you 24. One freaking day. No way.
The only thing I can see is the dragons getting there sooner, right. But that's it.
But Gendry ran.
It's like how far was that? Like I've heard of
they took them forever just to walk there, and he just ran back.
Yeah. Like I've heard of native tribes in South America that run through the mountains after smoking cigarettes and drinking all night, and they can run like hundreds of miles. But even those guys, they have been training at that since they were little kids. Gendry's just like, I've been in a blacksmith hut my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I'm ripped because I swing iron. I'm not doing calisthenics.
He said just sprints. But it's like also, what happened to the wildlife, like the bears and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's just
I felt bad because my sister got she started watching Game of Thrones in season 7, and she used to do cross country, and she's like, Christy, I know this is a show and everything, but how the F does he get from one place to an yeah. and I said sister's name, and it's like, it's the Westerosi Express.
Right. Exactly. And I've said this time, Prophet, perhaps there's salt in the water and it makes it harder, but they're still like, they are more than just, they bring winter. Like they are.
Maybe they should have brought salt with them, I guess, and poured it in the water.
Yeah, something like I almost cried in the books when Dany's eunuchs still hired prostitutes just to lay with them. That happened in the show too, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Ray gets killed.
Oh, well, they're still men, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that choked me up in the book. You know what? In the story, I don't think anything did.
The Red Wedding?
No.
No.
Really?
You know what? The Rob, the actor, did a great job selling his like mom, like just the death. That's another thing that pissed me off, the whole Red Wedding in the show. Like he married somebody who's not even in the books, and she's dead, but yet in the books, his wife's still alive and maybe pregnant. And
I didn't like any of that, but in terms of tears, I was in tears.
Right. I get that. I mean, it's a powerful scene.
Even the next day, I was literally still sad.
Do you know the guy? Definitely one of them, but it might be the three of them, that the orchestra or the musicians that play the Rains of Kashmir. Those are guys. I know definitely the drummer from Coldplay is in there. I think it's three of the guys from Coldplay in there.
Yeah,
just fun facts.
Well, what was so funny is back season 3 was in what, 2014, 2013, something like that. I think it was 2014.
That long ago?
I think so.
It has to be. You're right.
But then the next day, because I was like, oh shit, this is where they're actually going to kill him, and with Rob and Catelyn and everything. And the next day, you see like people who do the reaction videos who only seen the show. They were so mad. One review, one lady, I remember she did a live stream. I can't remember her channel name. It's like, you dumb bitch, it was in the books.
That's my favorite part. Like
10 years before.
We've known it for so long.
But I knew I saw it coming. I knew what was happening, and I was literally crying.
It got you.
Yeah, I mean, because you read it, but then you see it played out in art. I can understand that, but these people, they're just like,
yeah,
no.
No.
Dark Side Droids. That was Arya and Ned's death. Like Arya, that got me a little bit. That was tough.
Yeah, that was.
And then when Joffrey died, that was so sad. Coldplay is diet rock.
How dare you?
I love Coldplay.
I love Coldplay.
I like
Coldplay is overrated.
See, this is where I say no. I say their album, Blood Rush to the Head or something like that, start to finish, might be the greatest pop rock album ever. Pop rock. It really is. It's a great album. I'm embarrassed that I like them, but I do like them. I just, anything after that, when they got into like Viva Loca or whatever the shit that was, but that one album, and the album that has the song Yellow on it were two really good albums for that type of music.
I don't think I've heard anything from them I didn't like.
I don't listen to any rock like on replay, anything after like the mid 1980s.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Rennie says it. They're pop. Yeah, Coldplay is pop. And for some reason, I was in a time and place in my life where that one album, I loved it. I loved Rush of Blood to the Head. I don't know what it is. It has some really, like, if you listen to like what he's singing about, and someone broke that dude's heart.
Is that a euphemism?
Huh?
Is that a euphemism? I can't say it. A blood rush to the head.
I don't know. Oh, I didn't think about that. I mean, the whole album's pretty much about a breakup. And my favorite song off that album is Green Eyes. I think that's just a dope song, and it's not very long, and it's just the way they do it. I think they're good at. They're very good musicians. Chris Martin can't sing a lick if it's not recorded, and he sounds horrible when it's not recorded. But he's a good songwriter. Well, he used to be a good songwriter. I'll give him that. I'm not embarrassed to say I like corny music sometimes. So, let's get back to this.
Dollified. We need more Daenerys handmaidens showing her the way of pleasure. Wish we saw that in the series.
Yeah. Dany, I mean, first of all, she is a gorgeous woman. Emilia Clarke.
Mm-hmm.
That first scene of her in the bathtub, I mean, that's a wow. I'll give that. They picked the perfect person to play Dany, because that's like, if I'm imagining her a couple of years older, Dany should be like this beautiful, like almost like goddess looking Valerian girl, you know?
You know, she wasn't the original Daenerys, right?
No, I know.
I'm so glad they changed it.
I want to see that first plot, that first
I don't remember her name, but I remember watching her the Tudors. She was in the Tudors. I think she played Henry's fourth wife.
Okay.
And I was just like, ugh. I don't know.
Marjorie was in that too. Marjorie. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna do one more. We might have to extend this to next week because I have so many things. I want to
make a great live stream.
Yeah, it really is a lot of fun too. Just venting about this stuff. Should we save Lady Stoneheart for next week?
Oh,
let's just talk about it.
Yeah,
Lady freaking Stoneheart. I think that might be next to Aegon. It's like 1A, 1B. I can't decide which one was a worse decision to keep her out of the show. And I've heard people defend it by saying that Lady Stoneheart coming back takes away from the Red Wedding.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does.
Not a bit. I don't know. We have 18 people in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe. Lady Stoneheart is so important to what's going to happen in these next couple books. Mm-hmm. So if the kids could warg, they do in the book, Arya in a dream wargs into Nymeria in Westeros, which is very powerful, I think. Her ability to warg all the way across the narrow sea and to the other side of Westeros. But she wargs into Nymeria and finds her mother's body in the river. And it's like paddling, trying to get to that familiar smell and dragging her out and like nudging at her to wake up. I thought that was a powerful part in the book.
It was, yeah.
Oh my God. But if she didn't do that, then the Knights Without Banners would not have found her on the riverbed. And then, what's his name? Who gives
Beric
her
Dondarrion.
Thank you, Beric wouldn't give her the kiss of life and die right after that. Instead, Beric goes on in the show and holds the door again. You know what I mean? Like that was his whole reason for living, was to block Arya so she can go, be the Superman she is. I think it's more powerful that even seeing her dead like she is, he thinks if he gives her the kiss, she'll be healed. Like he gets healed. And Thoros is so against it. And he still gives him the kiss, gives up his life, and something comes back.
Right.
What do you guys feel about Lady Stoneheart from the books?
I don't like her.
Do you think she's important though?
I think she could be, but there are theories out there. Like I think somebody in the chat said with like her bringing back Jon or killing to help. I mean, maybe. But I would probably see it more maybe helping Arya or Sansa, something like that, a little bit better.
Well,
I mean, she's definitely vengeful.
Exactly.
She's targeting those people who are involved in the Red Wedding, and I think that's okay. I don't think it takes away from the Red Wedding. I think that in a way, they sort of gave her vengeance to Arya.
Yes.
And I don't know that was necessarily the best route to take.
Yes.
Because now what is she going to become?
Well, see, this is what... Okay, so these last two ones, I don't believe Stoneheart is... I think there's a shadow of Catelyn Stark in Stoneheart. I don't know if she is her anymore, just like I don't know if Beric was Beric or Dany is Dany, because I believe now after the great Stig Kenobi brought up that theory that Dany is a fire white.
Nah.
I buy into it now. But let's just say I don't think she is as much Catelyn as she used to be. And she is, like you're saying, she's full of rage, she's full of vengeance, but she's also calculating. And there's a lot of theories out there that say she is working with Holland Reed to protect the Rob's will, and to get Jon on the throne. Would Catelyn ever do that? I don't think so. That's why I believe she's not fully Catelyn anymore. Or there's that shadow of the guilt Catelyn used to have.
Yeah.
You know, we have Smooth Jam says, Lady Stoneheart being in the show would have made Brienne's storyline way more interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I literally wrote that right above it, hurt Brienne's storyline. It killed it. Like, Brienne, what does she do in the last season? It's like she sits there looking for a candle, and then the one time she decides not to look for the candle gets lit, and she goes and kills. We're talking about Stannis next time because I can't even get into that this time. But like, she's just wandering and
aimlessly.
But now there's like such a path that we're gonna see.
And I can even see if they wanted to incorporate how her storyline was in the show, in the book, maybe, but further on, but not really because of the cat with the Lady Stoneheart element, though. And that's whatever. I
do like Lady Stoneheart resurrecting Jon.
That's the part I can believe.
I don't believe there's going to be a sacrifice of Shireen. The only issue with that is in the books we don't have the flux capacitor to get up to the wall that fast. So how is that going to work? Like, will Jon be dead for like a month? Because she's still pretty far in the south of, like, she's around the neck, I think. Or is she in the cave still? I don't know. She's far south though. How will she Rennie, I want to know, how will she get to Jon in time?
Well, then this begs another question, though. She was dead for 3 days before she came back.
Right.
So what's the difference with Jon not coming back just like her? Is it going to be Ghost?
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, though. I mean, he had something to work into to maintain his sanity, his identity. She didn't have that.
I just love this guy. Know how I know Scott loves these books? He keeps skipping my off-topic chats. LOL. Scott is the Adderall to my ADD. He's so right though. I don't need to skip him. Anytime I see, like, I don't know, for some reason when I see @ signs, I think people are talking to each other. So I try to go ones without @ signs. That's how I roll. That's so funny though. Doesn't Catelyn come back in the books? Yeah, she's Lady Stoneheart. Is she back though? Is it really her? Is it some of her and some of whatever R'hllor wants? Now with Jon, what Jane, you were saying earlier, I believe, is that if, let's say, the kiss brings back Jon, but Jon isn't Ghost, will it bring back somebody else?
I think it will actually bring back Jon. I think the problem with her and other Fire Whites is that their minds are broken because it's not in a place. It's not in a living entity that's still connected to this world. In Jon's case, it is.
Right. So, I see what you're saying. He's never left died really. He's somewhere else.
Exactly. So
where they had to come back from the darkness, he's not coming back, right?
Exactly.
What are you giggling about? You're such an ass. I'm gonna have to find it, aren't I? Danny used blood magic. Stoneheart is a fire white. That's just my opinion. See, Danny used blood magic, but it takes to give birth to 3 dragons. How is one mage's blood and the dead blood of a Khal enough to crack 3 eggs?
Didn't she burn her son too?
In the book?
Yeah.
I thought the child was already dead though.
Well, he is already dead. Yeah.
But it's still blood.
Was he in I don't remember him being in the pyre. I might be wrong, but
I don't remember him being in the pyre. I think he was already dead and gone and
they got rid of him because she never saw him. She never saw it. She only heard the baby looked at like dragon scale. Like,
he wasn't part of this.
No. So if you're going to have 3 eggs crack, you're going to need 3 sacrifices. And Danny was one of those sacrifices. I think it's a cool theory that I just start more and more thinking like Danny's as time goes on, she's so focused on the last thing she was working on, her children, which are the slaves, freeing slaves, gaining power to go back to Westeros. Like, it all kind of works out as what Fire Whites are. They're very focused on their revenge and what their last ideas were. Comics division when Tom Connor, why? I don't know.
Well, the live streams that they do on Thursdays.
Oh, okay. What up, Mason? How you doing, my brother?
Howdy.
Hey, Mason.
What else can, like, I feel like the ladies
get to the comment.
I know, I just missed it. You son of a bitch. Is it this one? You are like, literally, you are a chat master, my friend. A chat master. I love it.
It's hilarious.
So Rennie and Tina are with you, Christy. Also Danny, not Fanny. Okay, sorry. Maybe I said Fanny. I don't know. I think that if Stoneheart brings Jon back, it will be after a long time, making him even wronger than her. But I think you, Christy, kind of hit on it. Is it because, or I'm sorry, Jayne, I forgot her side. I'm ADD. Jon being in Ghost, he's not actually dead. His soul is still, his consciousness is still here. Whereas when Beric dies, he just sees black. He sees, like they did in the show. What did you see? Nothing. It was darkness. But
damn it, Rennie. When you was a master debater,
huh? He is preserved in ice. They put him in one of those ice cells, didn't he?
But remember though, if he is in Ghost, and how we've talked about this before, how long is too long before he's like, I guess you could say, one with the animal though. I mean, yeah.
Oh no, you have a valid point, because they say after a certain amount of time, the human is kind of gone and is back to the wolf.
But the kid's been
for Ryan. Okay.
Well, if you lust for Ryan, check out our last live stream from Saturday. Ryan was on almost the whole stream. Another monster.
Wow.
Yep.
I think that takes a while though for them to completely bond into the wolf. It would most likely be more than a few days. Because the kids are already spending their nights in the wolves.
Right.
Night after night.
Night after night, they're in the wolves. No, being your second life lasts a while. It's not like a couple days. I mean, you'll be conscious for a while in the animal, but over time you'll slowly lose to the animal, or you'll be like,
you become accustomed to living like the animal, which you would.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's like the conscious of the wolf kind of absorbs your consciousness, and you no longer see yourself as Jon. You're back to just being Ghost. You become one consciousness. And he doesn't explain it very well, so I don't know exactly. Like when you read the Varamir Sixskins prologue, it kind of explains it.
Yeah, but I also think as a practical matter, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Who's kidding?
Oh, that's mine.
And I was like, it's not mine.
She is just like all about me wanting to pet her. She's
y'all want to hear a stupid Dalai Lama joke?
Please.
Okay, you ready? The Dalai Lama walks into a pizza parlor. He says, "Make me one with everything." Sorry.
No, that's good.
Just in my head.
That's good. And make sure you hit that like button for that one, guys. I love it. Kitty.
Oh, so pretty.
That's Livy. She's a funny cat.
Like, I'm so done with you.
I know. She thinks she's a person. Yeah,
maybe
so
she is.
She could be. Oh my God, whose life are you with? That half-life. Sir Pounce, maybe. Anyways, anything else on Stoneheart? I can't really. I think Stoneheart does have something to do with the will. The more I read about that theory on Reddit and stuff, the more I'm starting to think she is just not focused on revenge. Her revenge has a purpose. And I think that purpose is to clear the path for Jon to become king of the North.
Okay, there's one thing about that though.
Yes.
What about Rickon?
She doesn't know Rickon's alive.
Okay.
When she died, she thought all her kids were dead.
It's true.
So, in her thought, cat hair everywhere. So she now believes that Jon is the last Stark, and that all that hate she had for him throughout the years, I think now she's focused on protecting what Rob's legacy wanted, and Rob wanted him to be king. I don't know.
That's what
Oh my God, Tommy.
What did Tommy say? No. Marriage stuff. Jerk. Yeah, I don't know. We've been going for a little over 2 hours, so we could save the rest. I think we're doing this next week. I'm enjoying this from book to show. This is kind of fun, and it'll give me time to think of other ideas for predictions too. Next week we could touch on how they screwed up Mance Rayder, Ramsay being worse in the books, Jojen Reed. I think they that got screwed up a bit. Jorah getting grayscale bothered the shit out of me. Stannis, maybe more on Tyrion's journey. The Faith Militant. We already hit the Sand Snakes. Battle of Winter, Battle of Fire, a couple of the other battles. Brienne fighting the Hound, the White
Warlocks.
The Warlocks, the White Walkers themselves, how they depicted them in the show and how they're depicted in the book. And some of the good things I like, the conversation between Arya and Tywin.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. Jorah in the show is less pervy than Jorah in the book. And Just the Red Viper. That's all I got for good things. So that's what we're going to do then, people. We are going to, I'm sorry, I never look at the private chat. We are going to close it out. So, Christy, why don't you tell them where they can find you and how things are going?
Well, you can find me at my channel, According to Christy, and I'm actually going to do a movie review. And I saw this movie. It has, God, what the hell's his name? I can never remember it. Sam Elliott. The movie is called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Did you just say The Man Who Killed Hitler?
And then Bigfoot.
That's a movie?
That's a movie. And
I missed that one.
It's such a great movie. Everybody, it's not a comedy at all. It's Sam Elliott. His Lord have mercy, his voice.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing that. And I think I'm messing up who Sam Elliott is.
Sam Elliott, mustache, white hair.
Okay, so the guy who's in Roadhouse.
Yes.
Okay. I like him. Okay, I'm gonna have to check. When are you doing this?
I'm watching it tonight, so I might release it tomorrow.
Okay, I can't wait. So
I'll send you the link for the movie if you want to watch it too. Allegedly, of course.
Yes, and don't forget what another monster. And first of all, Rennie, you could always watch the stream again. I'm glad you even made it because I enjoy what you have to say in the chat, everybody. And
please
and get her monetized. Sub to Christy.
Hey,
she's the only person I know over 1,000.
Watch her videos.
You can literally, you can play my live streams on repeat, and you can even downvote them. You don't even have to subscribe.
Where did you
play them?
I thought you were there. Where? How far are you still?
They cut your watch hours in half.
They cut them in half.
You went
like
down to
they're
2,000?
gone,
and they never gave you an explanation.
No.
Oh my God. That's messed up. I have more watch hours than you. That's incredible. Because you were like at 4,000 when I was at like 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. That's really wrong.
That's scary.
And Randy's like, damn, Christy.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that.
I'm simping. I'm simping hard.
Yeah. That sucks. You gotta stay hard. Get your ass some Walton's blend.
Hashtag get your ass some Walton's beds. What? Is that supposed to be best blend?
Yeah.
Best. I thought it was bed. Okay. Best blend. I like it. All right. Well, make sure, guys, please help Christy out by playing her play. Which is it? One live stream?
It's one live stream playlist.
So before you go to bed tonight, or if you're going to go off to work, if you're over in another country or something, hit play. Just leave it on that screen.
Because I do it with Scott too.
I do it with yours too. And just walk away. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Thank you, Chrissy. Where can they find you, Jayne?
You guys can find me here on YouTube, where I post weekly movie and television reviews every Sunday at 6 Central, as well as some occasional pop culture news and commentary. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne.
Thank you.
And that's it for us, guys. Thank you. Thank you for getting me to 800 during this stream. I really appreciate it. 200 more subs, and I'm finally at the goal that I had when I started this. And whatever happens after that is just the icing on the cake. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to you ladies for always supporting me too. And to the whole Fourth Wave and Rogue Entertainment and TR4 with Final, TR4 without Final, TR4 without me. And I don't even know what the hell we are anymore. I am no longer on the Tuesday show, but I watch the Tuesday show. So I'll be in the chat with you guys. So make sure you're subscribed to, I was about to say Walton's Best. The author, Stephen Walton. Oh, sing it, Christy. Sing it. Sing us out. Sing us out. I'm done.
The best part of waking up is coffee in your butt.
Walton's Best. See you guys on Wednesday.